Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we have a new poll from the University of New Hampshire which looks at the very competitive Maine 2nd Congressional District for the 2026 midterm elections, and it shows a very competitive race with the Republican former Governor Paul Lepage actually leading over the Democratic incumbent U.S. Representative Jared Golden. It talks about a prospective matchup between Maine Congressman Jared Golden and former Governor Paul Lepage in Maine's 2nd District as statistically tied at this early date. However, Lepage is more popular than Golden in the 2nd District, as Golden enjoys only modest popularity among his fellow Democrats. A majority of Mainers approve of Governor Janet Mills' performance, and while she is considerably more popular than Senator Susan Collins, who some may speculate to be her opponent in 2026, most Mainers have heard about and understand a possible 2025 ballot question and such on that front. But for this race in particular here, it's worth noting that overall, right now, Paul Lepage starts out with 50% of the vote, Jared Golden with 47% of the vote. It breaks down by party line. Overall, 97% of Democrats support Golden, 91% of Republicans support Lepage. Independents, this is very big. Lepage leads over Golden 52 to 40% in this regard. The poll says here that incumbent Maine Congressman Jared Golden won re-election to the U.S. House of Representatives from Maine's 2nd District in 2024 by an extremely small margin. Former Maine Governor Paul Lepage announced he will challenge Golden in the seat in 2026. With the election more than a year away, half of Maine's 2nd Congressional District residents say they would vote for Lepage if the election were held today. 47% would vote for Golden, 2% would vote for another candidate, and 2% are undecided. Nearly all Democrats, 97%, say they would vote for Golden, while most Republicans, 91%, and 52% of independents would vote for Lepage. It also gives a little bit of a brief mentioning about their popularity in their own party. Or just going off this, it shows that overall, it looks like Jared Golden has about 21% favorable, neutral 40%, and 36% unfavorable among overall voters, while Paul Lepage is a lot more decisive here, where 43% say favorable, 44% say unfavorable, only 13% say neutral. So it seems that voters in Maine have a lot more of a stronger opinion about the former Governor Paul Lepage than they do about Representative Jared Golden. It does break down more strongly along party ID, as expected, where 31% of Democrats view Golden strongly favorable to 40% who say neutral. Independents are split 36-37, favorable, unfavorable. Republicans 6-47, unfavorable for Golden. Whereas Lepage, 91% of Democrats view him unfavorably, compared to 50% independents who view him unfavorably. Only 38% say favorable, while Republicans are much higher, 81% view a favorable view of him. So when you see party ID this spread out and this decisive, with Lepage, who it seems that a lot of Mainers know who he is, this is going to be a very close election when things are laid out like this, which plays into the very importance of this race in 2026. So if you're unfamiliar, the Maine 2nd District in the state represents a lot of the rural part of Maine going up along the coast, is pretty much this part of the middle of the state and around the coast here in the rural parts of Maine going up to the border of like Canada and small part of the border with New Hampshire. It is listed at Republican +4, but it's been held the last few election cycles by Democrat Jared Golden, who is more of a moderate Democrat that does split with his own party a lot more than other Democrats to vote in favor of the Republicans. But this district is Republican +4 and gives the Republicans a top target for 2026. And the Republicans thus far have landed a very strong recruit to run against Jared Golden and former governor of the state of Maine, Paul Lepage, who was also the nominee for governor in 2022. That election, Janet Mills won by double digits, but Paul Lepage was the governor of Maine from 2011 to 2019. And if this was the race for the 1st district, which is a much more democratically friendly district, this probably would not be much of a contest. But this race in the more rural district of Maine 2, which is more Republican friendly, Paul Lepage is a very legitimate shot at winning this district. And even given the fact that 2026 is supposed to be a more Democratic-friendly midterm year, this district being Republican +4 and Jared Golden barely winning in 2024 gives the Republicans a real opportunity here at flipping this seat. The rankings for this seat, Cook Politico and Sablo Crystal Ball have it as toss-up. Inside Elections has it as tilt Democrat. In the two polls that have been conducted so far, one poll from a Republican pollster, now one from UNH, which I would certainly put more credibility into the UNH one, seeing as they are a non-partisan affiliated pollster. Lepage at 50%, Golden 47%. It is within the 5-point margin of error here, so this race is statistically tied. It does show Lepage does start out with a pretty high floor of support. And when you're a Democratic incumbent like Jared Golden, who just won a very close election last time around, you'd be hoping as the incumbent that you'd be at the 50% mark and the opponent would be at the 45, 46% mark. Rather, this time around, it seems it's flipped. Lepage has a very high floor of support right now. The high or the lowest in both these polls has been 48%. Whereas for Golden, the highest is 47, the lowest has been 43. The only good news is there aren't as much support or undecided 1% or other 2% in this poll, which does bode well for Golden, as last time around, it seemed when ranked choice voting went into effect, Golden was able to get a lot of that support. We ended up winning by 50.22%, but the Republican Austin Thurl got about 49.67% in 2024. If Paul Lepage is starting out around that number, around 49, 50% in this race, that doesn't really give much room for error for Jared Golden to try and hold on to this race. He would need to chip away at some of the supporters already supporting Lepage if that is the case. But this is going to be one of the closest races, without a doubt, in 2026. In 2024, this race went for Jared Golden, 197,151 votes, to Austin Thurl, 194,445. Roughly a 3,000 vote difference in this very close district. And this district has a very important role to play in 2026, where the Republicans, as of right now, are defending their incumbent map where they hold about a 3-seat majority. The Democrats only need 3 seats to flip the House in 2026. But that could change if one of their seats flips to the Republican side. What if Paul Lepage, after Jared Golden has won 4 terms now, what if Paul Lepage defeats Jared Golden and flips this seat? Well, that gives the Republicans an additional seat, where the Democrats now need to flip 4 U.S. House seats. It's still very possible Republicans could win this seat and the Democrats could win the House. I actually would probably still predict that to happen in this scenario. But this is a very important district where the Democrats are so close to taking the House. The Democrats do not want to lose any of their current seats now in the path of doing so. Because I'm sure not only do the Democrats want a majority, they would likely want a very large majority so they can have lockstep among all their members in a lot of their votes. But if this district flips to the Republicans, that could certainly put a wrench in the Democrats' plans at taking the House and having a large majority for 2026. Now, it is worth noting the generic vote for the U.S. House for 2026 right now is currently listed at Democrat plus 2.4. So the Democrats do have a national lead, and that would suggest that Democrats are on track to win back the House. The last time the overall House vote went for the Democrats was in 2020, where Democrats won 50.8%, Republicans 47.7%. So that was around a 3-point or so win. And on that election, Jared Golden won re-election by about 6.1%. The national environment suggests that it should be more along 2020 lines than 2022 or 2024. 2018 was also a very big win for the Democrats. So that one was about an 8-point or 9-point national House vote win. Jared Golden won there by only 1 point. So it's kind of all over the place how this district is going to go. The national environment alone could save Jared Golden. It may not play a big role. We'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds. But no matter what, this is going to be a very close race and a very important one to watch for in 2026 that, again, could have huge ramifications for the majority of the U.S. House come the 2026 elections. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did. Leave a comment below, tell me your thoughts, and I'll see you in a future video.